Hello everybody, and welcome back to Styx. Today, as always, we got some work to do. Now, let me show you guys what I've been up to. I did a little bit of rearranging of the base. As you can see, the floor has really opened up on this side over here. I went ahead and rearranged some of the benches on this side. I moved our fabricator and machining bench, and then I also made a little shelf for our batteries so we can have a full 8 nice and compact in this little section here. And then the main reason I did all of the rearranging is to get a nice sort of permanent layout for our crafting side of the base. Everything is really nice and compact over here now, so we also created a electric carpentry bench. Every single bench that we're going to need for smelting, building materials, processing materials, nice and compact in this corner, all of our storage above as well. And then to finish off the crafting process, we just turn around and go to our machining bench or fabricator right there. So super nice and compact rearrangement of all of our benches. Really happy with this new setup. But other than that, no real other changes to the base. And the main reason I set up this whole crafting corner is because I want to start doing a lot of crafting today. I want to get a deep electric drill on pretty much every single ore that we could possibly need. Right now we have platinum going, we have stone, silica, iron. I did also craft up a new electric drill for our copper. So right now what we're missing is another drill for titanium, another drill for gold. And then I also want to set up a third silica drill. That way we can have as much silica as we will ever need pretty much on this map. Without the miasmic pick, finding all the silica we need for the massive concrete and glass projects that we're always working on is kind of a pain. So I'm going to get a third one set up on silica and then another one for titanium and gold, and that way we'll have pretty much everything we need. I could put my biofuel drills on oxide and sulfur, maybe even aluminum, maybe oxide and aluminum, so that way whenever we need one of those resources we just have a nice little stash of it. But that is the plan for today, so I'm going to go ahead and get to crafting and get a bunch of new electric drills. We're going to need more power as well. Right now with all of our drills we are looking at 14.5k, which we have a decent amount, but if we're setting up a bunch more drills, I want to have at least another solar panel, maybe 2. So we'll have a total of 6 solar panels, and then I want to craft up a couple of batteries for even more storage. I want to have a total of 8, so we'll have our full 8 battery array right here. We will have our 5 solar panels, and then we will be able to get all of our drills running. So as we're running around doing all of our missions here, we are just going to be passively gathering pretty much any material we will ever need. And then of course, with all of this brand new open space, we're going to have to start decking our base out here, giving some nice decorations to the place so it doesn't look so barren and empty. So that is also definitely a plan for today, is let's get our resource gathering taken care of permanently here. Get all the resources that we need to start working on decorations, and then of course, working on our penthouse all the way at the top of the tower here. So that is the plan for today. Let's go ahead and get to work. So first things first, let's go ahead and get 2 brand new beautiful solar panels all crafted up here. Very, very nice. That is a decent chunk of our resources, but they will be put to use for sure. And of course, as we're gathering up all of these materials, the other plan for today is let's go ahead and make a nice permanent place for our animals to live. I've read a few comments suggesting that we use the sort of bottom of the factory base to house our animals, and I think that's a really cool idea. So I think I want to build a little house for our animals and set that place up with some bridges and connecting walkways so we can have our animals right there in the bottom of our base. That is the plan. There we go. We have 6 beautiful solar panels now, not 5. And we should have more than enough power for all of our new drills that are going to be coming online shortly here. We're making 40,000 power as long as our water wheels are up. That is beautiful. And this heat wave is coming in right as we're about to start a big crafting session, so perfect timing. Let's get inside and get back to work grinding away on these crafts. Let's go ahead and take a quick little shower as this heat wave is coming through. Make sure we stay nice and cool. Another benefit of having a sprinkler in your base. And let's get back to crafting. Alright, so we want 3 more electric deep drills. Let's get those bad boys crafted up. Absolutely awesome. That is a huge chunk of our resources, but it is going to be worth it in the long run. And then for our batteries, we want 2 more of those, so we're going to get 16 titanium plates going here. That is a ton of titanium. There we go, everything we need for 2 more beautiful batteries here. Let's get those boys crafted. Absolutely awesome. And there we go, there is our 8 beautiful batteries all hooked up. They are charging up here. Very, very awesome. A little bit of an unwanted visitor here. Alright, and with that taken care of, let's go ahead and plug in our drills. Yes, we are ready to move our animals out of this rickety little shack, that is for sure. Tutu's looking a little thirsty, but it's fine. We'll be back before you know it, buddy. Alright, let's get our titanium plugged back in here. Alright, got our titanium running again, very nice. Let's go ahead and get gold, and then another silica node as well. So as I mentioned, I already changed our copper over to a deep drill, so we do have power all the way out here already. So setting up the gold will be super quick and easy. Honestly, I'm not sure if gold is really that necessary in the long run. You pretty much only use it for decorations and for electronics, which you need so much more copper than you ever do gold. You're pretty much never limited on gold, but might as well get that going. Gold, of course, is also used for making composites, so it is useful for that. So might as well have it going for us. And then we will get this biofuel on maybe aluminum for the time being. We also have this biofuel over here now, working on oxide for us, and it filled up on half a can of fuel, so very nice. Still have our iron doing work for us over here. Tons of iron already. We'll get this biofuel working on aluminum for the time being. We are running a little bit short on that. Let's grab up this salt while we're here as well. And then last but not least, we're going to have to drag a wire all the way out to the boonies for the other silica node that I found right here. So currently we have our farthest wire out here on this silica node, so we're going to have to drag this all the way across the entire desert to the other one. But, you know, we are running low on silica constantly, so this will be a nice thing to have for sure. And it is always an option just to have another solar panel way out here so you don't have to drag wires quite as far. But I like to have everything kind of set up in one electrical network, especially if it's just in a biome like this. So the desert biome will have its own electrical network, and if we set up another base or another, you know, sort of place to rest our heads, then in that case I think we'll build a new electrical system. But for the time being, let's go ahead, set our MOA to follow us, and let's get to dragging this wire. And as I was dragging my wire down this cliff, I found a new cave, so let's go ahead and check this cave out. See if maybe we can snag ourselves some exotics or anything cool in here. Alright, looks like it is a platinum node, so nothing too special. There is exotics though. Awesome. Let's go ahead and grab those. Grab up a little copper. Don't really need too much right now. We do have our electric deep drill going for us as our main source of copper, so yeah, nice that we found some exotics. Very cool. Unfortunately, there wasn't a silicon node closer than the one we're aiming for, so let's keep dragging our wire out. It's going to be a schlep anytime we want to come out here to get silica, but I think it will be worth it. You know, we'll probably have a full inventory every time we come out here. There we go. There's the silica node that I found. We'll get this hooked up, wired up here. And there we go. All the way out here in Timbuktu. But, you know, it'll be faster than mining it by hand, that is for sure, so. And as the sun sets beautifully over the horizon next to the peak of our tower base over there, let's go ahead, head on back to our base, take a well-deserved rest after that huge project, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a sandy morning today, and it is very dark inside of the base. I think with this sandstorm, having to do all those repairs on our animal pen, it's making me feel like it is time to finally upgrade and get ourselves an animal pen permanently inside of our base. This is where we're going to build it, I think. You know, it is a nice, awesome little area below the base. We just got to figure out what kind of materials we want to use. I have an idea. I think I want to try building the floor in this area down here out of the new stone brick pieces. I think that will look pretty awesome. So I'm going to get to work pulling together some materials. The stone brick pieces are extremely expensive. You can see here every single floor takes 40 bricks, and every single brick is 3 stone. So a single floor is 120 stone, and you know, we have a pretty sizable floor down there, and that's not counting, of course, the refined wood, the tree sap, and the steel screws you need for every single piece as well. So these are very expensive, but I do think they look really cool. So I think we're going to bite the bullet and go for aesthetics over cost performance, and let's get ourselves a nice floor of stone bricks down there. It's going to be a lot of materials, but I think it'll be worth it. So let's figure out exactly how much we're going to need and get to work. Alright, so I have done the math. To fill the floor down below, we are going to need 1,680 bricks, which equates to 5,040 stone, just to fill the floor down there, as well as 250 wood, screws, and sap. So the wood, screws, and sap, not too bad, but that 5,040 stone is absolutely crazy. Let's see how much we actually have here. Okay, so currently, you know, with all the stone we've been constantly gathering from our deep drill, we have about 3,000 stone, so we are 2,000 short of what we need just to fill in the floor down there with bricks. So if you're ever planning on making like a big building out of these brick materials, they are just insanely expensive. But I think it is going to be worth it. So with that being said, I think we swap over to our other character. He has a few stone mining bonuses, so let's get to clicking on some rocks and gathering stone the old-fashioned way. Alright, so here is the tech tree of the crafting character. I don't know if I've ever shown this. I did end up maxing out his level to 60, so we have all of the talent points here. I have 3 into rock star to make just rock mining that much easier on him. And then, of course, all of the crafting related stuff that we are familiar with. Extra durability on the pickaxes, 20% attack speed on the pickaxes as well. I have the supply and demand maxed out, so we have that 10% extra projectile damage on any arrows this character crafts, as well as 25% more maximum durability on knives. So that is kind of how I set this character up, is to craft any tools that I want on this character, and of course do a bunch of material farming, particularly rocks currently, and I think that is going to be super useful for us right now when we need literally 3,000 or 2,000 more rocks. We are short. So with that said, let's go ahead, load in, and get to work clicking on some rocks. And the perk of having this armor set is we have a 1% chance to instantly break a rock like we did right there. So super nice, we just got that. And one thing you can actually do is I'm going to head over to the caves that have rock walls on them. And there is a chance that you can instantly break one of those cave rock walls and just get thousands of stone instantly. So I think we're going to press our luck and click on some of those cave walls, see if we can't just get a massive windfall of stone doing that. Alright, so here we go. We are at one of the cave walls here. So you can see this entire thing is just a massive stone that you can potentially get in one click. It's a 1% chance, so it's very low, but it's also just a great place to farm a ton of stone. It's just all a giant massive stone for you to keep clicking on and mining. So regardless, we're going to keep trying our luck here. Alright, we have officially filled our entire inventory off of this rock wall here. Unfortunately, we did not get the 1% break. We mined most of it. It shows it's about half health though. A lot of it is kind of hidden inside of the unbreakable rock here. So if you get that 1%, all of the hidden rock that's hidden inside of the unbreakable rock will enter your inventory or drop on the ground. And it is just a huge amount of stone. So unfortunately we didn't get it this time, but we do have an absolute load of stone. Let's see exactly how much we have here. 3,677, so we should be good with that amount of stone. We're going to be spending almost every speck of our stone on these bricks. And I have a feeling it's also going to take an insane amount of time to craft up 1,680 bricks on our single little electric bench, but we'll have to see. There is another perk that reduces the cost of stone building materials, I believe. I didn't actually spec into that one. I have concrete as my reduced cost as well as glass, but I didn't spec into the stone one. So you can see here, discount stone, minus 25% craft of stone building pieces. So when you're building these stone bricks, if you really love the stone bricks, it might be worth taking this perk on your main character or a secondary crafting character. I usually make everything out of concrete and glass, so I took the concrete discount as well as the glass discount here. So those are the two discounts that I focused on. But this stone one is available if you really love the stone bricks. It's probably worth taking because they are extremely expensive. But with that said, let's swap on back to our main character and get all of these beautiful bricks crafting up. Alright, so we have our bench loaded up here. Let's go ahead and get the first few hundred of these crafting. That's going to be 500 bricks. That is about 1/3 of what we're going to need. So each one of these crafts is going to take 2 minutes. So all in all, just crafting the bricks for that floor is going to take about 30 minutes for all, 1,680 of them to craft up. So it is going to take quite a bit of time with this single bench. We could make like an advanced masonry bench on the side and do a little bit of that crafting as well, potentially. So here is the advanced masonry bench. We can use this to craft another set of bricks as well. It's going to be much slower than the electric one, but just waiting on a single bench is going to be slower than having this on the side as well. So let's get one of these crafted up. Alright, there we go. One advanced masonry bench. Very sweet. Let's just stick this down over here for the time being. I'm not planning on really using it in the long run, just currently as we're waiting for this crafting, I think it will be useful. There we go, another set of 500 bricks. As you can see, it takes 3 full minutes for a stack of 100 on this compared to the 1 and 40 seconds on the electric. So it is going to be a lot faster on the electric. But we'll just continue queuing these up until we have our 1,680 bricks. I'll see you guys once this massive crafting session is done. Alright, so about 20 minutes later, we have all of the bricks ready to go. It took, this thing is about half as fast as this, so this was able to get twice as much work done as that other bench, but we did save probably about 10 minutes having that bench there. But here we go. We have 42. That is the number that we're going to need down there. Let's go ahead and get all of these bricks turned into these fancy brick floors. And there we go. We have 20 stone bricks to spare, 42 brick floors. Absolutely awesome. So in order to support this floor down here, I think I want to use a few foundations, just kind of scattered around to make sure we have enough support. Alright, so I'm going to get 5 concrete foundations crafted up here. This should be enough support for us down on the bottom layer. There we go. And just like that, we have everything that we need to get to work on our animal shelter down here. I am super excited to get this thing together. Let's see how it looks. And there we go. So we do have a little bit of the grass kind of sticking through the bottom here. I think that's fine. It adds kind of a little bit of a rustic feel to it, but Look at this stone brick floor. Man, it was so much of a grind to get here, but I think it is absolutely awesome. I love how these things look. You know, they're very similar to the clay bricks, but just that gray sheen to them, that gray color, I think they look absolutely awesome down here. This will be our animal shelter down here. Super, super excited. Let's go ahead and start working on getting our food trough and water trough down in here, as well as our animals, and then we're going to have to work on a system for doors. So we'll have to figure out, I think we'll probably do like a door on each side, and then maybe a door in the front as well. And then once we have that, we're going to work on just a little bit of a staircase down from here, and then we will build some bridges across the river area right here. I think that will be super awesome and super convenient. We'll probably want to build a second bridge across those rivers on the opposite bank as well, just to make our lives a little bit easier coming and going. But yeah, super, super happy with the stone brick. These things look really awesome. Super pleased with it. It was a lot of work, but I think the animals will be happy with my decision. And so now that I'm thinking about it, I think maybe we just have the one doorway right here, sort of the grand entrance, and then, you know, if we want to come in from either side, we'll have our bridges there. So no need to build an additional doorway on the sides, I feel like. We'll just have a nice sort of staircase coming down from here, and our fancy little bridges that we can build out of concrete this time, not stone bricks. All right. So I have the basic foundation of our new entranceway down here. I don't know if I want to keep this sort of block style, or maybe we do kind of like a half pitch sort of angled entryway. Maybe that'll look a little bit nicer, but here is the staircase that we built. This thing is absolutely awesome. We're gonna have to fill in the sides so it isn't floating like this, of course, but this is the general shape of the entranceway here. Let's take a look at it in photo mode. I know when I was running through the desert a little bit earlier, we said it kind of looked like a ziggurat with this tiered sort of staircase. This is definitely like one of those Mayan pyramids. This thing is absolutely beastly. It is so cool. I love how that looks with the tiered staircase there, and then of course the giant tower up at the top. This is really shaping up into be quite a base here. You have to get some guardrails in there, maybe some decorative flowers on the side, maybe even some like braziers or torches. That could look really cool as well. But yeah, this thing is a beast, and it is really, really looking cool. Go for the complete brutalist industrial style on this factory pyramid. This thing is so huge. Definitely bigger than anything I made in my previous Prometheus playthrough. But yeah, it is awesome. So we officially have a grand staircase. Now we have to work on our bridges, of course. I had my pipes laid out here because I had no intention of actually building all the way down here, but now we have. So maybe we do a little bit of reworking with the pipe system as well. But yeah, we have a lot of materials to work on, you know, to get all these bridges set up, to get this staircase fully finished up. But I am really pleased with this entranceway. And with that taken care of, I think we are ready to move our animals into their new home here. So let's go ahead, get their food and water trough down in here. But before we do that, you know, the sun is coming to a set here. Beautiful oasis view on top of our awesome new staircase. Let's go ahead, take a well-deserved rest, and I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a bright and sunny morning here in the desert, and we have officially moved our animals into their new home here. I just have the food trough and water trough kind of placed off to the side for the time being, but this place is huge. It is way more than enough space for these two animals, and you know, we can bring basically the whole farm over from our old prospect on Prometheus and have no trouble fitting them all in here. But that staircase is so awesome. I'm really glad we went ahead and did that. And you know, we have our nice little doorway right here leading down. There's a lot of decoration and sprucing up we need to do on this thing, but I am absolutely loving the look of this, and I think it will be nice and convenient for us as well. You know, having a super easy place to park our animals right below the base, and we can just come right up into our workshop with all of our materials. Super, super easy, super, super nice. And best of all, we no longer have to keep repairing this old, rickety little wooden structure. Let's get this thing torn down and out of sight, out of mind for the last time here. And just like that, it is as if it was never here. Grab these last couple posts. There we go. We officially have removed the final wooden structure from our prospect here. I am feeling absolutely great. We have a super awesome home for our animals now. Super convenient location. And now we have all of this extra space to work with, so we're going to have to figure out what to do over here now. But yeah, I'm feeling so good. We are free at last from having to repair all of those wooden structures every time a sandstorm comes through. Alright, so as you can see, I kind of built a new entranceway to the base here. I think this is looking really cool. And then I'll show you also kind of what I did to change up the look of the front of the base here. So as you can see, we kind of constructed a sort of tiered Mayan pyramid style sort of staircase pattern in the center. We still matched that stripe of concrete with the two glass on the side for that pattern, but I am really loving the look of the new entryway. And then if we come off to the side here, you can see that new sort of tiered pattern even more there. I think it gives it a really cool, interesting look. It's not just a flat, sheer wall anymore. It kind of has a little bit of texture to it. I also added those concrete pillars that you can see to the staircase, so everything is looking super sturdy and awesome. I am really, really loving the look of the base from the front now. That new entranceway is absolutely great. And one other project I've been working on the side, you can see I have my drop pod all the way up here now. What I did was I crafted up a few of these dropship recall beacons, and my new method for getting epoxy is I call my dropship down to the mammoth area all the way over here, and then I just fill that inventory completely with mammoth tusks, hunting down as many as that we can find, and then we can fill our inventory with, I think, 15 mammoth tusks, so that's 1,500 epoxy worth of tusks. We are just absolutely stocked up on epoxy for all the glass that we'll need for a long time. We have a ton more in reserve here, as you can see. And then you can also see I started crafting up a ton of this other stuff here, because I think it is time that we start to take on our next mission here. And since we are in a tower building mood, I figured a great operation for us to take care of would be high-rise construction. Go ahead and accept that mission here.
They'll let you know the setup. You just gotta build it for them.
You see, we have this building mark over here. This is where we have to build a tower. It's going to have to be 7 floors tall, and there are some specific requirements that we need for that tower over there. We're going to need all of these lights, all of these braziers, and then the rest of the materials for the construction I have in my pod over here. As you can see, we have all of these building materials plus some of these benches that we need to place down, and then it also requires some glass and then illuminating those lights with electricity. So I'm going to bring this biofuel generator that I crafted up. This will be useful for us for these types of missions where we need a quick, portable source of electricity. I just crafted one of these up. I don't know if I'll be using it at the main base, but for these sort of missions where we need to bring electricity with us, it is a very useful option for sure. But yeah, I mean, with all of that preparation already taken care of, really, we just kind of need to head out to this location and build the tower. So I'm going to get everything loaded up, and let's head on over there. Alright, I got my inventory filled up here. I'm going to grab some food for our Moa, make sure we can keep him fed as we're out there. And let's head on over to the building site. We're going to have to get to work on our bridge system over here as well. That is another project I want to get taken care of, at least the outer bridges over on this side. Yeah, let's head on over to the build site. I was kind of toying with the idea of making a permanent base location over there, but there actually is a boss spawn right next to where we build that tower, so I figured in the long run I don't want to have my secondary base near a boss spawn like that, so we're gonna just build the tower for the mission and then deconstruct it, get the materials back. What I think my long-term goal is I want to build another base out in the second desert here on Styx. So if we look at our map, you can kind of see the edge of another desert here. There's a giant desert over in this area right here. So this will kind of be like a tale of two towers. We'll have one tower base in this desert and then another one all the way up in this desert here. I think that will be really cool. And that way we can kind of take care of the missions on both sides of the map and have a convenient place to go home to no matter where we are. Alright, but I'm just gonna head on my MOA all the way over to the build site. Let's get this building constructed and then we'll just tear it down, reclaim the materials, and get on with our next project. Alright, we can kind of see the build site from here. It is up on top of that giant mountain on the other side. Super cool scenic area, but it is unfortunately right next to a boss spawn, so it's not going to be our permanent base location.
This is where they want it. You ready to build?
Alright, so we are officially in the build zone now. I'm going to go ahead and remove my pin. And it should be a pretty quick and simple mission since we have everything prepared ahead of time. Let me just go ahead and bring our dropship on over here. Now we'll have all of the building materials that we need. I'm just going to go ahead and slap it down right here in the center of this little dirt patch, I guess. Yeah, we'll wait for that thing to land and get to work constructing. So first thing, let's lay down our foundations. I want to get a simple sort of little box on the bottom here. Alright, so we don't need to completely seal this tower when we build it. We just need to have a ground floor, then pillar all the way up to 7 floors tall, and then have a top floor up there. So we can just kind of keep the one ground floor and then one top floor. We're going to need 4 braziers on the ground floor here. I think we can get away with putting them outside. Alright. Yep, there we go. 4 braziers on the ground floor. Very nice. I'm going to save building the wooden hedgehogs for later because I kind of want to reclaim those and want to avoid getting them damaged as much as possible. Go ahead and grab our basic benches here for the bench part of the quest. Alright. There is the basic ground floor. We have this biofuel generator ready to go. Let's get our can in there for once we're ready to flip it on. Now for the fun part. Let's get to work on towering up 7 squares tall here. 3, 4, 5. Alright, there's 5. I brought some simple ladders just to take care of the job here. 6, and then can't quite do the 7th yet. Alright, so that is 7 floors tall, and then this will be the 7th floor. So, starting right here. Yes, 7 floors tall, absolutely nice. Alright. Alright. So we are up here, we got our ladder set up. Now what we need is 6 glass floors. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll also need 8 glass walls, so the whole sort of wall structure made out of glass up here. Alright, there's the glass walls. Alright. Now we need 2 braziers Alright, and then if we place the glass wall now... Okay, it does mark it as complete. And it does look like once we completed the upper floor, it will not remove the completion if we destroy one of those walls. So we are good to go as far as that goes. Now we just need the wooden hedgehogs and then 16 lights powered up. Oh no. I'm realizing I crafted up the 16 lights, but I left 6 of them at the base. So, man, I'm gonna have to run all the way back and get those last 6 lights. That is the pain of these missions in open world. Let's go ahead and just get our hedgehogs down. You know what? Let's just hop on the moa and head back as quickly as we can, because this is gonna start potentially taking damage out in the storm over here. So, man, that stinks. But we have to head back. That is the basic tower. That is all you need. If we had all 16 lights, we would be able to get this done right now, but unfortunately, a little bit of a lapse in judgment. I left 6 of them at the base, so I'm just going to quickly run back there, grab up the lights, and I'll be back with you guys as soon as we get back here. Alright, we're coming back now. We can kind of see our scuffed little tower over there. So let's go ahead. We have to go all the way around the left to get back up there, but let's head on over and get these lights installed. Alright, we have made it back. We have all 16 lights ready to go here. Whew, that was a little bit of a journey, but let's go ahead, set our moa down over here, and get the rest of this quest taken care of. I'm just going to stick all the lights on the wall on the inside here. It'll make our lives a little bit easier. It's not going to look good at all, but we're just going to be deconstructing this whole thing anyways. Oh no, and of course we have a lightning storm coming in. Hopefully we don't get a lightning strike on our base here. That would be very terrible. Quickly try and get all these lights wired up here. It is going to look absolutely crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, there we go. We are in the middle of a forest fire, but let's get this thing turned on. All of our beautiful 16 lights powered up. Boom. There we go. Now the very last thing that we're going to need, might as well just turn this off. We don't need it now that we completed the objective. Last thing that we have on our agenda is the wooden hedgehogs. So I'm going to wait out until the lightning part of the storm is over, and then we'll go ahead and place those hedgehogs. Hopefully this fire doesn't get too crazy. Alright, the worst of the storm has passed officially here. I'm going to go ahead and move on out of our little safety shelter here. The forest fire fortunately didn't get too bad. And then let's just quickly place down all 20 of these. We're gonna have to pick every single one of them back up afterwards, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There we go. Mission complete. The fire is indeed spreading. Let's go ahead and try and recover some of this stuff. The worst comes to worst, we're just gonna have to start picking a bunch of grass to cut the fire off here. But yeah, that was a pretty quick and simple mission, as long as you are prepared ahead of time, and don't forget to bring your 16 lights. This wall of lights is just crazy looking. Looks like a switchboard or something. But yeah, got it taken care of, not too bad at all. The reason I want these hedgehogs back is we might end up using them for a geyser run. We're definitely going to want some enzymes so we can get some cool little statues in our penthouse. So I think these will be valuable for the geyser for sure. And I'm not the biggest fan of the basic wall lights. I was initially kind of maybe thinking about deconstructing them and making the ceiling lights that I like a lot better. But I do think they kind of changed the way that they behave. It does seem like they have a better sort of light effect now than they used to. So maybe we actually give the basic wall lights a shot back at our main base. You know, we are in desperate need of some illumination there. We don't have any lights set up at all, so might as well give these a try and see how they look. Oh, you know what I could do? I forgot. I can just deconstruct the wall and then take the lights this way. It's a bit faster. Alright, then we just load back all of the stuff that we don't need here. Some of the more valuable stuff we'll just load in the drop pod and get to work on deconstructing this whole thing now. No. somebody who's afraid of heights, that was a clenching moment there. Oh. Okay. We made it out. Whew. Alright, we made it down. Had a little bit of a sprain scare there, but we got it taken care of. Got all of our concrete pillars back. And we are ready to finish off deconstructing this. Alright, and we got everything back. These braziers, I think, might look kind of cool at the main base as well. Kind of like a little decoration, making them look like a sort of ancient pyramid. Could look pretty cool. Just like that, we got everything back. We got the mission complete. It was not as bad as it could have been. We did forget those lights, which was unfortunate. But yeah, we got high-rise construction taken care of. If you're playing on an open world in this map, there is a wolf boss spawn that's right here. So, you know, you might think it would be a cool, convenient sort of way to get a secondary base set up, an excuse to come up here to this sort of high ground, but unfortunately there is a boss right there, so it's not a great place for an actual permanent residence. Yeah, I mean, I do think we are going to want to sort of scope out the other desert region. Figuring out kind of what batch of missions we want to do next. Maybe we do kind of the next desert as our main sort of focus next. Get a sort of starter base set up over there and get to work completing all of the missions over in that region. That could be a nice sort of way to progress, I feel like. But there really are a lot of missions that kind of have their objectives scattered all over the map on Styx, so it is probably going to be nice to have a secondary base on this side and then, you know, our main base on the other side for when we're over in that direction. That is definitely a project for the future. For now, let's go ahead, get back to the base, take a well-deserved rest. And I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. I went ahead and called my drop pod back here, get all of our valuable building materials back. And I think I'm going to go on a quick resource run to all of our deep drills, get all of that precious silica, stone, all the materials that we've been gathering up. In preparation, of course, for another base that we will be building out in the other desert, and just in case we need it for our main base here, you know, we still have a few more projects that we want to take care of, namely building our bridges out in between the land masses here. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead, hop on our Moa. Let's go ahead and take Ranganui out for a spin. I have been leveling up some of his skills here. As you can see, we already have all of the stamina and movement stuff on him. And then I just started working on the food buff durations. So Ranganui is officially good for work. So let's go ahead and give him his first test drive here. Yeah, he is quick on his feet, just like his buddy Tutu. Very nice. Alright, there we go. That is a beautiful, beautiful stockpile of silica. That is why we have the 2 drills out here going, and then we grabbed that one from the cave nearby our base as well. We are just stocked on silica, that is for sure. We're kind of getting to the point where I have more materials than I know what to do with, so you know what that means. That means it is time to consider what we need to prep as far as building our next base goes. But of course, before we do that, let's use some of the silica and stone and iron and everything to get our bridge system set up out here to make our lives a little bit easier around the base. So as far as bridge construction goes, this first little bit of water is actually shallow enough to just sprint through. So we don't actually need a bridge right there, but we will be constructing a bridge right over this water over here. Alright, and there we go. First bridge constructed. Absolutely beautiful. Now, for the opposite direction, we're going to need a double bridge over both of the waters over there. Alright, there we go. Little second bridge set up here. I kind of pushed it over to the side a little bit to make accessing the staircase a little bit more of a straight shot. But yeah, let's get our railings set up on this one, and then we'll need a few more materials to get our second bridge up over that water as well. But yeah, just a little bit more crafting and we will finally have our bridge system in place. Alright, there we go. We officially have our full bridge set up. Let me just get the last few railings on these bad boys, and we officially have quick transportation over the water nearby our base. Absolutely awesome. And there we go. Nice, simple little bridge on both sides of the base. Absolutely amazing. This is going to make our lives so much easier. And to test out these new bridges, I actually also crafted up a little of this desert feed. So this actually is a desert specific food that gives a 15% movement bonus in the desert on top of all of our other buffs. So let's go ahead and check out 2-2 here. And as you can see in his status here, he has 1 of 3 food buffs, so he can have 3 buffs active at the same time. So when we're going out and doing these mining runs, I have a feeling that, oops, drop that, feeling that what I'm going to want to do is have all 3 of our different types of feed active on him, and this way he'll just be an absolute monster out in the desert. So let's go ahead, feed him up with all of his buffs, and let's just see how fast this guy can go. Oh yeah, that is crazy fast. Yeah, when we're running around doing our mining, picking up our deep drill ores, we're just going to be able to do that in record time now. That new seed feed is crazy. That extra 15%, you can really feel it. So, you know, we recently gathered these, but since we're out here, might as well take a look. Absolutely awesome. The triple buff active on him. I feel like we can do a lap around the entire desert on a single stamina bar practically. He is just insanely fast, and that stamina bar goes down so slowly. So awesome. Go ahead and test out our little bridges here. So we used to have to swim slowly through all this water, but now we can just sprint straight across. No problem whatsoever. This is absolutely awesome. Look how fast this guy goes. Look how great these bridges serve us now. Absolutely no issues getting around the desert, thanks to our new bridging system and this awesome new seed feed. Alright, and since we are in a little bit of a tower mood today, I think now is as good a time as any to get to work on the top floor a little bit here. At least get the basic foundation laid out. So my plan is I want to replicate the 7x7 bottom floor up on the top floor. So I want to have the interior wood 7x7 up there. So I have all these materials pulled together. I have these basic wooden floors just as a temporary ceiling as I'm pulling together the rest of the materials. But I'm going to go ahead, head on up to the top floor here, and let's get to work expanding this thing out and seeing just how cool we could get it to look. Alright, here is the basic shape up here. I think I might actually want to keep this center concrete pad here. I think that looks kind of nice. And then, you know, we'll have the sort of decorative outer layer with the interior wood there. But let's go ahead and continue with the build here. I'm still debating if I want to do like a full 2-high glass wall here, or maybe we do the 1 concrete, 1 glass. I'm going to do a little bit of experimentation and see, you know, how stability looks. And yeah, I mean, it looks like we're still fully green even on these walls over here, so we could potentially just do concrete all the way around. I do think the wood looks a little strange, however, from below. I thought that might look kind of cool with the wood from below, but I'm not 100% sure if I like it. We might end up replacing that with concrete. But for now, let's stick with the wood and just see how it looks once everything is kind of in place. Yeah, the more I'm looking at the interior wood from the bottom, I think it just looks really strange here. So yeah, I think we go ahead and do concrete floors all the way through the penthouse. I don't think it'll be quite as comfy looking, but you know, I do actually have the Brutalist architecture DLC now, so maybe we go for kind of just like a Brutalist, stark, concrete looking upper floor, and that way we can kind of keep the theme of the concrete on the bottom as well, so it doesn't look quite as odd. But that is going to be a ton of concrete material that we're going to have to pull together. So yeah, more silica farming in our future. And I do think I want to go for the 2-high glass wall on the penthouse. Once again, an insane amount of glass, an insane amount of silica and epoxy and everything for another full wraparound of glass. But I think the final product will be worth it. So we're going for the coolest looking. So we're going for full concrete flooring up here, full 2-high glass up here. It's going to look really awesome. All right, there we go. We officially have our 2-tall penthouse now. The double glass walls in all directions. It is looking super nice up here. I do love the interior wood on the inside, but again, from the underside, it just really looks off. So I do think since we've confirmed that we have enough support for the full ceiling, let's go ahead and make up enough concrete flooring to replace these interior wood pieces. And yeah, we're just going to make like a really sleek, brutalist style penthouse up here. I do have the Brutalist DLC. I did end up purchasing this during the summer sale. Right here, I have the Brutalist sort of decoration pack, so we're definitely going to be going for some nice, sleek, concrete style interior decorations. And we'll have just a really cool sort of modern style penthouse up here. We'll have to get a Brutalist style bed as well instead of this one. And yeah. Looking forward to how it's going to look. We still have a lot of work as far as material gathering goes, but this is the general shape of the penthouse for now. And here's how the tower is looking. We're of course going to be adding pillars on all 4 corners so it looks a little bit more connected, but I think that is just looking absolutely massive and interesting. It's kind of like a giant eye right now. But yeah, I think it's going to look really cool once it's all finished up. So let's go ahead, get the flooring crafting up, and then I think I'll get to work placing the 4 corners of the pillars all the way up as well, connecting the 2 bottom and top floors. Alright, so I have the pillars going all the way up on the 4 corners now. I only have it on the one side for the time being, but I think that looks really cool. I love that pattern going all the way up. It makes it look more uniform, like it's actually being supported on all sides. So maybe I do actually continue this pattern on both sides of the corners. So it's going to be a lot more materials to get that done. I've pretty much run out of steel and stone and stuff at this point just for this part of the build, but I do have some extra pieces and I kind of want to put a little bit of a finishing touch on the tower here, so hopefully we have enough stability to get this done. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do as far as getting the finishing touch on the tower. Alright, and I have made the final capstone to our tower here. I went with the little Empire State Building style little terraced peak on it. I think that looks really cool. It fits the theme of sort of the terraced look of the whole thing. Our base is so massive I can't even zoom far enough out in the camera mode to show it all, but I can tilt down here, so that is the look of the new top part of the tower. Absolutely awesome. And then we pan down and we can see all the way down to the bottom here. We're gonna have to get a look at this thing from the bottom if we can even get the whole picture here, but man, this thing looks so cool. And now that we have those sort of diagonal beams in place, I actually don't mind the look of the interior wood on the bottom. Maybe we stick with that for now. I mean, I'm completely out of materials for concrete for the time being, so we're gonna have to do a little bit more saving up before we can even experiment with the concrete look of the floors. But maybe we end up sticking with those. I'm not 100% sure what to do yet. But yeah, that is the state of the tower. I absolutely love those sort of switchback pillars going all the way up, and then we have the new sort of capstone at the very peak. I think this looks absolutely awesome. Alright, here is the look of the tower from the bottom floor. This is the whole base right now. This thing is absolutely gigantic, and I think it looks pretty awesome. I'm really pleased with this. Maybe on the sort of Empire State style peak, we try that out of glass or something. I had some concrete walls left over. Yeah, I think for now this thing looks absolutely awesome. We're 100% going to have to work on decorating out the penthouse area, getting ourselves a really nice coziness bonus going. But yeah, for the time being, this is the state of the base. This thing is super cool. I'm super excited to, live out of this and enjoy it as our main base. Alright, and I think that will wrap it up for today's episode. We got a lot of work done today, as usual. The brand new flooring is all set up for our animals down in their new sort of garage area. We got these brand new switchback pillars going all the way up to the penthouse, and of course we have the new sort of peak looking like the Empire State Building at the very top of our tower. I think this thing is looking absolutely awesome. I am extremely pleased with how it's shaping up, and I'm excited to continue decorating it and putting on some more trimmings and just making the whole thing even cooler. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I hope to see you all in the next one. And of course, I have to say thank you to all of the amazing channel members as always. Thank you as always to Silo, Leticia Magalues, Newly, Hein Groenwald, James Dodson, Fear This Juggalo 77, Jagged Power, Leo, Sylvan Dryad, Brutus, Vivid Epiphany, Jason 84, Dorset Viking, Cataline Muntianu, Johnny 5, Lucas Rotulo, and Dawn Night Kill. Thank you everybody so much for your continued support, and for everybody for watching the video, subscribing, and liking. It really means a lot that you're sticking with me, and I hope you are all looking forward to the next episode. Goodbye.